Heyo,
Yo,
listen, man. My prediction by the next time I said on Monday, by the next time we do a podcast, it's going to be 97,000. And we were right there. We were right there.
we're gonna have to split the difference on this one because I think I said 91
Yeah, yeah. So now we're at
or
95.
93. I said 93.
Yeah, split the difference. What do you think? Is this are we in a bull trap, buddy?
A bull trap. I don't even know, dude. I don't know. I have no idea. I think, man, we're along for the ride. If I think we're just riding the back of the bull. That's what we're doing.
Well,
And it's
sometimes
the
it feels like
slowest bull.
sometimes it feels like we're getting dragged behind the bull.
Yeah, definitely squeezed right in the balls.
Yeah, yeah. Man, it just always does amaze me. Like when you hit, it's. I feel like the sentiment's been more bullish in the last week. What are we up for the week? We're up like 4% or something,
Yeah.
5%, and on the month we're up 9%, which is a really good sign. And I think it definitely is indicative of the sentiment. I'm getting a lot more bullish sentiment in my timeline. I feel a bit more bullish myself, and it's an
Nice.
incredible thing. Like when the price is going up um how it the way it feels going up again toward like 95, 97,000 feels a lot better on the way up than on the way down.
Just wait. As soon as we hit six-figure Bitcoin, you're going to feel like a brand new man.
Or we go to 60.
That's not happening. There's no way. There's no, that's the Luke Groman thesis.
There's
That
always
ain't
a way.
happening. No,
I'm
it's
not
not.
banking on it. I'm not banking on it, but it could happen.
Bitcoin's too big.
You
The
know, but
OGs have sold their.
unless you're trying to wash out some people here.
Eh, I, I'm just going to say no. It's not possible.
Yeah.
And the reason is because we couldn't even get down to 83.
Yeah.
If you can't get to 83, you're not getting to 78. And if you can't get to 78, you're not getting to 72. And you're
What
not getting to
happens?
66. I mean, and so on and so forth. Like you have these levels where people have purchased, and there are so many people who purchased above 90. They're happy now. They're good. They're not underwater. They see the momentum. It's inevitable. We're going to 200. We're going to 500. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter, unfortunately, it's a matter of time. But this year, I'm very optimistic. This year, we're going to see some good price action.
You know who's happy is a finance guy.
Oh yeah, that the minivan driver. What did that douchebag say in this
He's
time?
he's the dorky, yeah, the dorky looking
I know.
profile picture with the glasses,
This
who was
the
a
sweater
critic of
vest.
Bitcoin and then just started to like I think honestly post about it for the engagement. And when Bitcoin hit like 96,000, he was like, I'm officially above water, man. I love Bitcoin. He's like seeming really bullish on it now, but I don't actually care about the guy whatsoever. I don't think he's authentic.
That's right. And I think anyone who's criticized Bitcoin while you were bullish, you get to watch that transition happen, and it's hard for them to build that trust with you, you know?
I want to
And
see
this,
them. How are you going to handle going like to 60? How would you handle going to 50? I think that's the kind of guy that if we went there, which I know we're not, Greer. I know we're not, buddy.
we're not, dude.
But if we did, I think this is the kind of person that would be like selling everything and be like, I was wrong, because he's been in such a short time. So maybe I'll have a little bit more respect for him in like 4 years.
Okay. I think, well, 4 years, dude, we're all going to be multimillionaires off Bitcoin in 4 years. In 2030, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, the ETFs are
2030 is
buying,
4 years away. That's
I know.
nuts.
That's, but the ETFs are buying a million Bitcoin a year. There's 3 million Bitcoin available. Do the
We're stacking
math.
every week.
21 bucks twice a week.
I mean, that's not even factored into all the models.
You
Like
need to
these people
factor
with
that
their
in.
models haven't factored in the stack show and our
They
40
haven't.
$42 weekly stack combined.
And And I will add, we have some passionate followers that don't like it when we say we don't have any followers because they are
Okay.
watching and they're watching, and we see you out there. We appreciate you.
How do you know? Are they talking to you directly? I haven't seen it.
I read the comments. I respond,
Are those
dude,
are those real?
you gotta level up. You
I don't
gotta,
know if those are
yes.
real.
No, they are. Yeah, they are. One
Are
of
you
them I
sure?
know for sure has purchased some of my bird flip gear.
Okay, that's cool.
I won't call him out, but I see you. You're the man.
I just thought they were all like bots in there, or like,
No, we
that's
don't.
that's good though. Not that
We have a,
we're not buying bots, but there's like bot activity all like any platform.
see, I'm such a noob. It wouldn't even occur to me to buy a bot farm to make comments. I wouldn't even play it that way. I want real, authentic people.
Yeah,
Speaking of,
yeah.
speaking of, we got two voice DMs.
Okay, let's hear them.
Do you want to hear them? All right. I know we have an issue sometimes when I hold up my microphone. So if they don't come through for you, I'll play them in post.
Again, I wanted to let you guys know that this has to be the worst podcast that I've ever listened to in all of Bitcoin Twitter. I don't know why you do it. You get on every week, twice a week, and you have nothing to talk about. There's no signal, there's no price action, there is no expectation of what's going to happen in Bitcoin, and there are no charts either. So
No charts.
I just wanted to tell you that I'm extremely frustrated. I am thinking about selling my Bitcoin allocation and rotating it into silver. I might buy some gold. I think sound money is important, but you guys are probably the worst Bitcoin podcasters on YouTube. I've had it with YouTube.
Oh, our old friend. Well,
Did
listen,
you
we love
did you hear
you.
that?
I heard it. I heard it. I guess what would I say? I would just say, stop being such a little bitch, huh?
Yeah.
Stop being such a little bitch and man
That's
up.
hey, that's good advice. When your dad gives it to you, it's good advice. When your buddy gives it to you, it's good advice. A lot
Yeah,
of people won't tell you the truth.
whether you hated us or you loved us, you watched.
That's true. All right. Voice DM number two.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that while you play most of our messages when we send them in, I don't think you're going to play this one because you two are a couple of fancy boys. You're picking your way through the YouTube algo, going absolutely nowhere, and I think you have no future. I think both of you just need to quit. You need to stop it. Nobody cares about what you're talking about, and I'm probably not going to watch next week.
Probably.
Crash out.
Not definitely. I I give him
The only thing I take issue with is that he called us fancy boys.
I feel a little fancy sometimes. I did a soft boiled egg this morning instead of hard. Felt felt pretty fancy.
Dude, then he's got our number.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's on it.
I sprinkled a little salt on my soft boiled egg like this.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Took my
Little
coffee.
little tiny teaspoon.
Little, yeah, yeah, exactly. No, it's one of those like egg eater things or the stand. Yeah,
Yeah, you put it in there real nice. Nice. Good for
yeah.
you, dude.
Those are
Enjoy.
goals. When Bitcoin goes to 1 million, I'm gonna eat my eggs off the stand with a little egg spoon, and I'll
Yeah.
put a like a little handkerchief.
There will be signs.
There will be signs. Yeah, I'm gonna fancy the fuck out.
How long we gotta wait?
Well, how long do you plan on living? I think if you
110? 115?
I think if you as long as you plan on surviving past 2030 to 2030, I think that's about how long we have to wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it and say 2029. Really 2028, I think July. And the reason I say that is because I asked Grok, based on what the ETFs are purchasing, based on what the institutions are acquiring, and then considering retail, how long until a Bitcoin that exists is no longer available, given that the assumption is 3.5 million Bitcoin are liquid? July 2028, 2029 for sure. And then that's when we hit the wall, straight up.
It's not going to be optional anymore. You're not going to, there's a lot of people that are in and out kind of playing with Bitcoin. But I think what we're seeing in Iran is always what we talk about. It's like this hyper Bitcoinization is like fiat's going to zero, and you're going to continue to see that. And so the folks that would otherwise like play with it in and out, trade it, they're going to be like, I can't actually afford to keep doing that. I need to just
Yeah.
hold the hardest asset. And yeah, so I think the demand is obviously going to grow, and I think people are going to be a lot more tight-fisted over it, and I think that there's going to be a lot more fighting over who gets to have the final bitcoins that are in circulation.
And I agree. I also think that when we get to that point, I think that the miners, the large institutional mining companies, are going to be making deals with exchanges, with governments, and those Bitcoin that get released, they're going to already be acquired. And I think that those large entities, they're going to be paying a premium to get that Bitcoin. And they're going to sign the contract a year, 2 years in advance. And they're going to say, we'll give you X millions of dollars today for the Bitcoin that you mine next year.
Yeah.
And those mining companies are going to be like, all right, we'll take that deal because we want to stay in business. There's an incentive for them to do that. They get money now, they sell the Bitcoin later. And I think that's what the future of industrial mining will look like.
Damn
Deals
good deal.
between,
Damn
yeah,
good
deals
deal.
between governments.
I'll make that deal. Damn good
Yeah. I'll lease out my solo miners. I got 12 terahash.
deal. I think I've got like 7 or 8 cranking up.
That's great, man. Get those sweet, sweet KYC free sats.
Shh. I said it. But anyway, moving on, moving on. We have to bleep all that out. Be like bleep, bleep, bleep. You know.
Yeah, those are the first voice DMs that were, negative, but that's
That's
okay.
that's Mark, right?
Yeah, Mark, that's the guy who shoved his wallet up his ass
Yeah, yeah.
or asked us if he should.
Not cold storage, warm storage. Hot
Hot,
storage.
hot storage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right, let me ask you this. Are we on the brink of civil war?
It's a civil war that we didn't expect. That's what I think. And I think the Civil War is where people on the right are watching the left go to war with the military, government, security forces.
Yep.
And that I wouldn't have predicted. I thought it would be like left versus right, and the government would be like the referee,
Hmm.
but it's not. It's all the people who have guns are watching the left go, batshit crazy and fight ICE, National Guard, coming, not now. And so I think the Civil War is going to be different than what we thought it might be. What's your take?
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. I think that the rhetoric from the politicians on the left saying, take videos of these ICE agents, take videos of DHS, not just for posterity, but so when we get back into power, we can start prosecuting. They're talking about kangaroo courts, right, for federal officers performing completely legal acts. And so it's very insurrectionist, the language that's coming from the left. You could call it neo-Confederate. The irony of that is, they're like, oh, states' rights, states' rights this, states, you can't, come here and occupy, the states. Oh, so you disagree with what they did during the Civil Rights Act,
Hmm.
sending in and doing desegregation by gunpoint? Oh, so you disagree with that? Oh, do you disagree? So you actually think the Confederates should have won the Civil War based off of,
Hmm.
yeah, so there, but no, of course they don't. I kind of do, but but we're living in a different country because that war was fought already.
Right.
right? And they're clearly trying to incite something, and but I really can't imagine. Um, it's either they're really stupid or they know something that we don't. Because why would you go out and tell all these ICE agents and DHS that you're going to put them in kangaroo courts? Uh, these are the guys with guns, right? And you're going to tell them that if you, the Democrats, get back in power, or when you get back in power, they're going to be prosecuted. That's not a very smart thing to do. And I find it personally offensive. I have, family works for DHS, works for ICE, and I saw just the other day, there's people that are leaking addresses of these
Right.
agents, right? And man, if you're coming after my family, like, good luck, okay? Because like that's when it becomes civil war. Once you have like the family, or you have the friends, or maybe you're not yourself, a federal officer or anything, but like your local law enforcement in a red state, or you're a conservative in a blue state, and then people that are on the that are closer to home. The Charlie Kirk's assassination, like all that type of stuff. It's catastrophic. It's horrible, but at the same time, it feels kind of far away. But if you start to see these crazy liberals, yeah, going after and showing up at people's residencies that personally, that's when I think you start to see the involvement from the right, where it starts to become
So,
okay. Like it's about defending, because that's the thing with liberals, they think about everybody else. They don't think
right.
about what's close to them. With conservatives,
That's the heat
right
map,
wing, that's the heat
the
map. You think about
the
what's close to
intelligence heat
you.
map.
And so right
Right.
now the liberals are fighting a war based off of the heat map that's far away. But if they start getting closer and closer to home, then the conservatives start to say, well, no, now you've crossed the line because that's my family. These are my best
So,
friends.
so we're talking about the left, Antifa, the blue hairs going up against red states and the federal government.
Yeah,
Who's going to win
essentially.
that? Who's going to win that one?
Well, what's interesting about this whole dynamic too is like the left has a huge appetite for violence, except they're just not very proficient at it.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean that they can't inflict damage, but look at the attempted ICE shooting in Texas. You had this liberal
Mhm.
actually ended up killing the illegal immigrants that he was trying to kill ICE agents. So not very proficient at violence. They're pretty reckless when it comes to it. They have a huge appetite for it. Some of them are very serious. They can get shit done, a la Charlie Kirk. Um, but the right is a lot more temperate in their actions, but a lot more proficient at violence. So if we get to a breaking point, um, you know, you're like they're not even. I don't think they can imagine how outmatched they actually are. I don't think they can even really fathom that.
You think a balkanization of the US, red states versus blue states, would that be a good thing?
No, no, I think a civil war is always a horrible thing. Like I think it would be very bloody.
Agree. Yeah.
I think it'd be horrible for the country. I think we want to avoid that as much as possible. I mean, you look at the war, the first Civil War, the war between the states, as you can also call it. Um, that took a very long time. I mean, the South didn't celebrate the Fourth of July until World War II.
Hmm.
They didn't, and I get it, rightfully so, because I've been reading a lot about the Civil War lately. Um, I've
Seems
got
like it.
I've got a 3-volume series coming in by Shelby Foote, and I'm reading Rebel Yell right now about Stonewall Jackson. Excellent book. But yeah, I mean, man, that was a brothers' war. This feels a little bit different in the sense that I feel like the people that the right would be fighting against, they're actually like illegals, right? They're actually
Hmm.
like subversives. It's more of like a Bolshevik revolution
Yeah.
than a principled war. They don't care about the principles. Actually, the left is coming from an oppressor oppressed paradigm, right?
Right.
It has nothing to do with principles. They don't actually care about the Constitution. They might say they do, but where were they
They
during
don't care.
COVID? They don't care. It's not about that. They're just trying to pull any narrative thread they can. And this is why I get so upset with libertarians is because like they don't understand that they're actually neutralizing assets for the power dynamics at play.
Here we
I
go.
disagree a lot with the stuff that the Trump administration does. I wish they'd go a lot farther. You know, some things I'm like, I'm not like this type of person that's like I buy wholesale everything you're doing. No, like we shouldn't be in Iran.
Totally.
We shouldn't like
Can't
all
do
this
that.
stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're just gonna sit back in your high chair and be a keyboard warrior and try and score brownie points on Twitter, who can be the most pure libertarian, all you're doing is giving power to one side or the other. And that
Mm.
side actually is predominantly the left. You're giving power to them. They're using you as a neutralizing asset. So it's like at the end of the day, you got to like kind of take that utopian hat off and put something a bit more pragmatic on and try that for size.
Let me get your thought on this. So this is a tweet from a post from at Remarks, and they're kind of like a news outlet. Just in, President Trump says the US should not hold midterm elections this year. And a quote from Trump, when you think of it, we shouldn't even have an election.
Yeah, I know what he's doing.
What's he doing, dude?
Dude, he's baiting them.
Crazy. I mean, there are talks about, or
The
I've heard it sort of circulated, the Adelson person gave him 250 million or will give him 250 million if he runs again in 2028.
Yeah, listen. Um,
And I think this is part of that. This is part of that story. No more elections. Trump's the last president. He's running again in 2028. What happens after that?
I've got a couple thoughts. I think the first thought is he's really trying to bait the left in. I mean, look at last night. They're, they're flipping over, lighting on fire federal vehicles, stealing laptops, sensitive information, guns. Those are all federal offenses. Gets you closer to insurrection. I think what he wants to do is it's. I think it's a losing battle. Although I would love to see him declare the insurrection act. I don't know that it does a ton. Like it just kind of reinforces the left's narrative. But if you just use words and then you get the left to go out and be like, well, they're not going to have elections, then they're going to start vandalizing more buildings. They're going to start getting more violent in the street. And then you're going to get
Yeah.
to a point where it's like the optics of that look so bad. And it's like, look at these revolutionaries destroying the country. We haven't done anything. We're just throwing out ideas and they're coming. And then that gives him the ability to do the Insurrection Act. But I also think I'm not actually totally opposed. Like I think for a very long time, and I think any libertarian would agree with this too, or sane-minded person. I think for a very long elections have been rigged. Whether it's the Democrats rigging the election or the right rigging the election, it's just an appeasement of the people to make them feel like they
Right.
actually did something. Okay, but
Yeah.
it's really I mean, you look at like the Constitution, you look at this piece of paper and then you say, well, where was this piece of paper when they flooded the country with illegal immigrants? Where was
Mhm.
this piece of paper, when they stole the election from Trump? Where was this piece, so on and so forth. It's like, it is just a piece of paper. And I think the right, like the conservatives, they look at this piece of paper that is the Constitution and they like do a little rain. It's like a modern day rain dance. It's like, oh, well, First Amendment, Second Amendment, Second Amendment, and
This
it's
is
like
gonna be good.
it doesn't like it doesn't create these magical spirits that are going to come out and these constitutional spirits that are going to it's just a
Right.
piece of paper, and I think
Right. Because it's because we're self-governed,
our
and
country's
that's
so far gone at this point, so
yeah.
it's fallen apart. The system's broken. Democracy sucks. It's a failed system, and if the Democrats get into office, they're going to they're going to do unconstitutional things. They've already done it. They're already talking about it. They're going to probably, you know, they're going to imprison people. Look at who they
Just imagine.
imprisoned,
Yeah.
leading up to everything. So I get it. I get it.
Oh goodness. We're in for a crazy year.
I just wish it was
We're,
someone that was farther right than Trump because I actually don't think he has the stomach to do what needs to be done.
yeah, what do you think
He's
about?
left of Clinton, he's left of Obama in certain areas, he's left of Hillary Clinton. You know, look at their rhetoric on like gay marriage and all this stuff, and it's it's just like they've almost used him as this boogeyman, the
Mhm.
Democrats, to gain more power. But it's like a creation of their, it's of their own creation, and ultimately, I think Trump wants to, he wants to win bigly. You know, he wants to please people. He wants people to be happy. Like I don't think that
Right.
he's got the stomach to do what needs to be done. So it's I think I yeah, I'd like to see another 4 years of right wing rule, but I think it needs to come from the from farther right.
I can't think of anybody. I can't think of anybody that has a stomach to do what needs to be done.
Maybe Nick Fuentes. No,
All
maybe
right.
not. Nick Fuentes is too young. He just talks a lot of shit. He's pretty smart though. I've listened to a few of his
Oh
interviews.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
impressed.
He's
Like I've
very
listened like,
intelligent.
listened to a series with Joel Webbin right now, and I'm like, wow, man, he's got a great grasp on history, and I mean,
Hmm.
he's very lucid in his thinking. So, but maybe that's you know decades away. But I don't know. Is JD Vance the guy? Nah,
No,
yeah.
he's bought and paid for.
Spawn
He's
paid
got a
for Peter
he's
Thiel,
got a whole agenda from somebody
PayPal
else he's got to
Mafia.
push through.
It's like where is it going to come from?
Well, that's my
Um,
question. I don't think it is.
yeah,
I don't think it is. Well, it was fun while it lasted.
we'll see what happens. You know, there's this whole like nothing ever happens mafia, but I think something is going to happen, and it feels like we're reaching a breaking point. I think if this were the summer, it'd be a ton worse.
Yeah, yeah. More people would be outside.
Hmm.
Minnesota's cold.
You know, it's funny if you watch those videos and you see everyone saying fuck ice, it's kind of fun to just imagine that they're talking about the cold weather.
That's a good way to reframe it.
Fuck ice! Fuck this ice!
And snow.
Wave with the signs, fuck ice, carrying around space heaters.
Brilliant. Well, should we stack some sats here?
Let's do it, man. We'll stack it for ourselves. We'll stack it for our future generations.
We're at 95,000. Buying 21 using strike. Boom. Got it. That's good, man. That feels like something you can do. You can peacefully opt out, non-violently, you know? Non-violent, and you are securing your future.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like Iran, you mentioned it. Like a Bitcoin went to 104 billion real. That is a preview of what's going to happen to every country, including the US. And it might not be 104 billion, but I don't think that this whole dollar system is going to last much longer.
You know what would be like a really cool dynamic if there's a civil war? I mean, the one thing that I was reading about, one of the strategies from the feds in the Civil War, Lincoln, the Union, is they were trying to steal the gold reserves from the South. Because if you
Hmm.
steal the gold reserves, that changes
Defund the
everything.
war. Yeah.
Everything. You know, so the South, the Confederates had to like really be smart about that and make that a huge priority. And could we enter a time when you have the different factions on the right and the left vying over who is controlling the most Bitcoin?
Hmm. I don't know if the right would win that. I think there's a lot of money on the left,
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
do.
Bitcoin on the left.
Yeah, I think it's the yeah. I feel like the right likes to maybe trade it a bit more, and the left likes to use it a bit more.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, I think if you look at Silicon Valley, if you look at the crypto VCs, if you look at David Sachs, I mean, I know he's in Trump's orbit, but I'm pretty sure he's not a Republican. Probably the first time he was ever considering voting for a Republican. I mean, you've got Scott Bessent. He's a
Gaywad.
that dude. That guy worked with George Soros, pure left.
Yeah.
I mean, Howard Lutnick, he's a lefty. I just, it's like get real. Get real. The people who you think are your friends are probably not.
Yeah, it'll be an maybe a fascinating dynamic to pay attention to. Um, I don't know, uncharted territory in our lives.
Uncharted,
But yeah, I mean,
100%.
back to your point, the white pill, buy Bitcoin, give yourself freedom. Work on becoming more dangerous though too. Like, you work on your self-defense and um, like protecting your family, being ready for that if shit hits the fan. Try to live a peaceful life. And if war comes to your doorstep, just be prepared for that. But I wouldn't encourage anyone to go out there looking for it. Um,
No way. No way.
because don't do that.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
As much as you possibly can, stay out of it um, until you don't have an option.
I think that's good advice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Your best bet is to buy Bitcoin and wait. And I think just, stay frosty, stay aware, see what's going on, but don't let it be so much that it overwhelms you.
that's right. That's right. I mean, you could spend a lot of time on your timeline looking at all the crazy stuff that's happening, and you take a step out of your front door and just look up and down the neighborhood and look around and be like, "Huh, I don't see it anywhere here. It's pretty nice,
Right.
actually."
That's right. I did. Yeah, I mean, a beautiful sunny day.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be
Huh.
ashamed about, nothing to be worried about. It's good.
Where's
Life's
all the
good.
fires? I don't Where are the cars on fire and the graffiti? I don't see any of it. Huh. So,
Not in my town.
just right. I mean, depending on where you live, if you're in the freaking cities, then it might be a different story for you. I would just get the heck out of there. Like if you're if you're in a blue city, I don't know what you're even doing.
I
Leave.
agree. I think moving to a red state is smart. And I think even smarter, which I would have done if I was smart enough, is move where you can be in the countryside. Get some get some acres. That would be the thing that I would say. Because then you can drill a well, you can keep some chickens. I'm not going to grow anything because I'm not a big vegetable guy, but you can have, a place where you can be more sovereign. So that's on the bucket list
Hmm.
if we make it that far. But again, I think we've only got like maybe 2 years to hack it away, and then it's and then Bitcoin's going to take over.
Oh man, I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Oh yeah,
Ah, bring it on.
yeah. Come
Send it.
on, building citadels, buying
Uh,
up data centers.
I'm not even gonna
Having
pretend that I'm like, no, let's keep it lower for another. No, dude, send it. I'm ready.
send it
Bags are
full send.
packed. Let's go.
Yeah, same. Oh man, think of all the treasury bros. They built up a following on X, and then got to do a podcast and or got to go be a treasury bro. I mean, what a sweet gig until you get absolutely obliterated in the market.
I couldn't handle it. I don't have an appetite for the treasury stuff.
Mm,
I just don't. Outside of just like small medium businesses owning Bitcoin, adding it to their balance sheet. I just don't really find it too exciting personally. I think it's great. You want to have large corporations, publicly traded companies vying to buy Bitcoin, but I don't really pick apart all of the financialization of it,
yeah,
um, just because it's not the most interesting thing to me. Uh, and it's been kind of sad to see a lot of these guys in Bitcoin go the treasury route and pretty much just become like treasury influencers.
right, and destroy the reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of good thinkers that, yeah, Achilles' heel was
Hmm.
joining one of those treasury co's.
I mean, it's an easy sin to fall into. Vanity.
Well said.
I I I fall into that trap all the time. Think about it's fine to be ambitious, needing to be making more and trying to live a better life. That's all well and good, but because I'm ambitious in nature, I need to ask God for, his guidance and his grace to not have that be the driving force in my life. And I feel like I
Same.
constantly
Yeah.
have to do that.
hmm That's good, man. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right,
we'll
buddy.
leave it there, brother. Um,
Good to see you.
okay. Peace.